Greetings to you all. My name is Jiovanni Jackson, a senior in Newport News Public Schools. I'd first like to thank you for the opportunity of speaking in front of you today. I'm very grateful for your time. Next, I'd like to ask you a question. What is your definition of a leader? A simple question with a simple answer. At least that's what I thought at first. However, over the past year, that definition has changed. I've come to a new understanding that a leader is more than someone to follow. I believe a true leader has to be so much more than that. With my time here today, I'd like to share the many lessons I've learned about leadership and why those lessons make me an exceptional Youth of the Year nominee. Speaking a little bit about myself, I've been faced with many obstacles in the past, much of it out of my control. Living in a low-income, single-parent household was difficult, struggling to make ends meet, and facing the threat of homelessness numerous times. However, I had a vision to change the world around me, something my living situation is never going to change. Within me is a burning desire to push peace and positivity any way that I can. I find that public speaking is a talent of mine, so I've worked hard to nurture it. I set my sights on being a great civil rights attorney, focused on bringing up my community. This passion has guided me throughout high school, where I've dedicated myself to extracurricular activities and community outreach programs. I mentioned how in the past, my definition of a leader has changed. That's because I was blessed with amazing opportunities to expand my perspective, all stemming from the hard work and recognition I received from serving my community. During early June, my participation in the Youth Justice Diversion Program rewarded me with a position as the only Youth All-American City participant. It was a select group representing the city of Newport News in a national competition. This honor placed me in the same room as Newport News' leaders, including Mayor Philip Jones. I observed, absorbed, and learned as much as I could from these experiences. What stood out to me was this. Even though I was young, my achievements had earned me a position in that room. I was told numerous of times to be confident in your accomplishments. In earnest, I don't like speaking about myself, afraid of coming off as too vain. However, I realize failure to acknowledge self-worth is a disservice to oneself and those who rely on them. So I recognize my gifts. I refuse to be held back because of the lack of self-confidence. I continue learning from my experiences at the Virginia Military Institute, where I spent 28 days for a summer program, dusk till dawn, exercising my mind and body. I struggled immensely from the pressures of the leadership role, stretching myself out entirely too thin by being a people pleaser. People pleasing was a long-going weakness of mine, afraid of being viewed negatively by my peers. This was only amplified during the program. Navigating group dynamics and endless drama left me feeling dejected. After I began to shut down, one of my teachers pulled me aside and enlightened me that I was trapping myself in my own sorrows, absorbing the negativity around me like a sponge. I've been trying to live up to the title of leader instead of leading in a way that felt authentic to me. I took a step back and began acting more on my own self-interest, a lesson that not only applied during the program, but for life as a whole. Acting on what holds true to myself gives me a power difficult to describe, reassures me that I can do what is needed because I said so. I've also learned invaluable lessons from my parents, who I hold in the highest of regards. They are my rock and my guiding light. My mother, a tireless worker, shouldered the responsibility of raising 4 boys while balancing multiple jobs. Her unwavering dedication ensured that her sons grew into successful, outstanding young men. My father, despite battling numerous health challenges, has always prioritized his family. Even when faced with adversity, diabetes, body pain, multiple heart surgeries, and his house catching fire literally 2 weeks ago, he remained focused on what truly mattered. Both show one of the most important aspects of a leader: sacrifice. It's this quality of resilience that was instilled in my siblings and I, growing even from the most unfortunate situations, bouncing back better than before. So I return to the question, what is a leader? I learned much this year about common traits among leaders. Of course, they're strong, smart, confident, but a great leader is more than that. I find that the best role models lead with their character. They act from a place of genuinity. They rise from the ashes after life repeatedly knocks them down. With this mentality that makes them a leader because it makes them someone that others are willing to follow. They are a role model, an aspiration, an example. So in closing, I believe that I'm deserving of the Youth of the Year title because the person standing before you is a product of reflection, growth, and perseverance. I've been faced with challenges in which I overcome, and blessings in which I took full advantage of, and I will continue to do so. Life has beaten me down and knocked me sideways, yet I refuse to falter. I will rise again from the ashes. Then using those same ashes, I guarantee you, I will change the world. Thank you once again to the Boys and Girls Club and the amazing judges for the opportunity and the time. Enjoy the rest of your day.